Hey everyone, this is Miss Delgado. We're going to go ahead and learn about creating fractions and just understanding the numerator and denominator a little bit more. So our objective is that you guys will be able to build fractions and state what the fraction is through practice, and the materials you need are just paper and pencil. The standard there is listed, you could read it, but it basically just talks about understanding fractions and adding and subtracting, and this is just one step into getting to our goal. All right, so here's some review. This is from lesson 10 that I believe was yesterday. We're gonna be comparing fractions. So our job is to find which fraction is bigger. So let's look at the 1/2 or the 1/4. What we're going to do is we're going to first draw two identical blocks or two identical shapes that we're going to cut up. So there we go. I have two rectangles. And remember that the number on the bottom, also known as the denominator, tells us how many pieces are in a whole. And so I'm going to label this top one as 1/2. So the number at the bottom, the denominator tells us it's 2, meaning I have to have two pieces. So I'm just going to make a line right in the middle. And now I have two pieces. So I know that the 1/2 piece is this big. All right. Then let's talk about the 1/4. So again, the 4, where the denominator is, tells us how many pieces we need. So we need 4 pieces. So I'm going to draw a line in the middle to make 2. And then I'm going to make a line in between the ends and that middle line to make 4. And you can see I have here 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So I know that this piece, this line right here, is 1/4, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight that in yellow so we could see. So based off our two pictures, is 1/2 or is 1/4 bigger? So our answer would be 1/2. 1/2 is bigger than 1/4. And it does make sense if you think about it. The number at the bottom tells us how many pieces we're cutting. And so if we're cutting more pieces, that means that the amount is less. And we could see that in the 1/4. There's more pieces here, 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So our pieces are smaller because it's the same whole that we're talking about. Let's go ahead and try it with the 1/8 or the 1/3. This time I'm going to try and make some circles. All right. So the first one I'm going to do is we're going to do the 1/8, and this is the 1/3. But we're going to do the 1/8 first. I'm going to make a line down the middle. That gives me 1/2, or sorry, it gives me 2 halves. So here's 1/2 and here's another half. So I have 2 pieces, but I need 8. So I'm going to make it a horizontal line, and now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to redo that line just to make it more horizontal. There we go. So I have 4 pieces. Let me try one more time. It's not equal anymore. It's not equal pieces because you see how this piece is bigger than this one. But let's see how many pieces we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so let's try and do one more. All right, let's check this. So it does look all equal at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we do have 8 pieces here. We're gonna go ahead and highlight in red what 1/8 is. So here is 1/8. All right, so let's move to the 1/3. So we know that this circle needs to have 3 cuts. What we're gonna start with first is I'm gonna make a line down the middle, but stopping halfway there. And then I'm gonna make a peace sign. And here I have 1, 2, 3 pieces. And let's go ahead and fill in what 1/3 looks like. So here, go ahead and ask yourself which fraction is bigger. Is the 1/8 bigger on the left, or is the 1/3 bigger on the right? And the answer is the 1/3. And then going back to what I said, the more cuts you have in a piece gives you smaller pieces. Or in other words, the bigger your denominator, the smaller the pieces are, which makes sense why 1/3 is bigger than 1/8. Or over here, it makes sense why 1/2, when there's only two cuts, or sorry, one cut to make two pieces in this, in comparison to four pieces, the four pieces are way smaller than the two pieces. All right, awesome. Let's go ahead and move on. I'm gonna clear out the screen. Okay, so here's something to remember. So here we have 1/2. The number on the bottom, the 2 that's here, is called the denominator. This tells us the number of equal parts in our whole. And then the number in the top, also known as the numerator, is the number of parts in the whole that are shaded or taken, depending on the situation of the problem. But it's the number of pieces that we're taking or shading, etc. So let's go ahead and just give it a shot. So here's question 1. Reggie bought 2 candy bars. Draw the candy bars and estimate to partition each bar into 4 equal pieces. So I'm going to first do a rectangle. And then it says the first thing for us is to partition each bar into 4 equal pieces. So let me draw another candy bar. So here we have 2 candy bars. And it needs 4 equal pieces. So I'm going to cut it in half. So now I have 2 pieces in each, but again, we need 4 pieces in each. So I'm going to make cuts halfway in between those lines. And let's make sure I have 4 pieces in each candy bar. Here's 1 piece, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces in one hole. And then same thing for the bottom when we have 4 pieces. So A asks us, Reggie ate 3 pieces. Shade the amount he ate. So I'm going to do, here's 1 piece, here's 2 pieces, and here's 3 pieces. So we shaded in the amount he ate. Now we're going to write a fraction to show how many bars Reggie ate. So I'm going to get down my marker out. Okay, so remember the number on the bottom, also known as the denominator, is how many equal pieces are in our whole. So here's our whole. We have 2 holes here. Here's 1 hole, and then here's another hole. So how many pieces are in one of these holes? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So my denominator is 4. So I'm going to put 4 equal pieces. The number on top is the amount of pieces we shaded, and we can see that here we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 pieces shaded. So the fraction of how many candy bars Reggie ate is 3/4. Okay, I'm going to clear this. Here's question 2. It's very similar. Reggie, on the next day, he bought 3 candy bars now. So I'm going to draw those 3. So it does say draw the candy bars and estimate the partition into 2 equal pieces. So here's my 3 candy bars. And so 2 equal pieces, I'm going to go ahead and just draw a line right in the middle. Okay? So now Reggie ate 5 pieces. Shade the amount he ate. I'm going to go ahead and give you 1 minute to go ahead and figure out A and B. So you're going to first shade in 5 pieces and then try to find the fraction to show how many candy bars Reggie ate. Go ahead. 30 more seconds. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And if you do need to pause it, go ahead and pause it. I'm gonna go ahead and let's go to question A. Reggie ate 5 pieces. So I'm gonna shade in 5 pieces in blue. Here's 1 piece, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, go ahead and check your work. Now, for question B, we're going to write a fraction to show how many candy bars Reggie ate. So remember that the number on the bottom of the fraction is the denominator, and that tells us how many equal pieces there were. There were in a whole. So here, let's look at this whole at the bottom. This whole. All right, we have 1 piece and we have 2 pieces. So that tells me that the number 2 is on the bottom of our fraction. And the number on top is the number of pieces we ate. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces that Reggie ate. So our fraction is 5/2. So I'm just going to label it one more time just so you guys can understand it. You don't have to do this. So it's 5 pieces he ate, and it's 2 equal pieces per whole. Okay? So for our next one, it is your turn. I'm going to give you some time to go ahead and get that started. So I'm going to read it to you. Mrs. Jollick baked 2 pans of brownies. Draw the pans and estimate to partition each pan into 8 equal pieces. So just to give you a hint, you're going to draw 2 pans, cut them up into 8 equal pieces. Mrs. Jollick's children gobbled up 10 pieces. Shade the amount that was eaten. And then B, write a fraction to show how many pans of brownies her children ate. I am going to give you a few minutes to do this, and we'll check in and do the work just to check it and make sure you got it correct. All right, go ahead. One more minute. All right, 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And go ahead and pause the video if you need more time, but we're gonna go ahead and go over the answer now. All right, so Miss Jollig baked 2 pans of brownies. So that tells me I need to make 2 rectangles. It's okay if you did a circle. It just matters how many cuts you did. So the amount of cuts, partitions that we need in each pan is 8 equal pieces. So the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to make a line straight down the middle, and that gives me 2 pieces in each pan, but remember we need 8. I'm going to make another line horizontal, that gives me 4 in each pan, and then I'm going to make one down, going down, and now I have 8 pieces, and we can double check that just for you guys. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we are golden. Yours could look different, and that's completely fine. It doesn't mean that it's wrong. Just make sure you have those 8 equal pieces in that shape that you made. If it was a circle, or if you only did horizontal or vertical lines in your pan, just we need 8 equal pieces, okay? So our first question is, our first hint is that the children ate 10 pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight 10. So here's 1 piece, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they ate 1 whole. 9, 10. All right. So now we're going to write a fraction to show how many pans, to show how many pans of brownies that they ate. So remember, the bottom number is how many pieces are in each hole, and that was 8. We know that because of our question. It says it cut the pan into 8 equal pieces. So we know that's 8. And then the number on the top is the numerator. That tells us how many pieces we shaded, or how many pieces the children ate. And it tells us in A, that is 10 pieces. So the fraction that you needed was 10/8. All right, let's go ahead and try to reduce this. Okay, so I'm going to use my red, and I'm going to square off some pieces that can be parted. So the red I have here is going to show, instead of having 8 pieces, I have 4 pieces in my hole. So here's 1 piece, here's a second piece, here's a third piece, fourth piece. And we're looking at those squares. So let's look at that. So I'm going to try and, I'm going to just erase that middle line that is in it. Oops. I'm going to see if I can do it again. That's not what I wanted. Awesome. Cool, cool. So instead of seeing those 8 pieces in it, now we have 4 pieces. So the 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece, 4 piece, 5 piece is another way of seeing it. And so that could be 5 pieces over 4. That is another way to look at it. Okay, and I just wanted to say thanks for watching. Again, the objective was for you to be able to build fraction and state what the fraction is through practice. We're here to help you and get you prepared for the next school year. So thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.